Gervonta Tank Davis has been under fire ever since he became a world champion back in 2017. The expectation for him was, for him to do what was demanded for him to do. Boxing fans wanted him to take on the very best consistently. And so because he didn't do that, he is criticized like no other fighter is today. People say that he needs to do this, he needs to do that, he should be able to do this, he should be able to do that. And that's all due to the fact that he was signed to Floyd Mayweather. The moment that he became a world champion back in 2017, that is when he opened himself up to the hate that Floyd Mayweather Jr. received throughout his career. Floyd Mayweather didn't give these fans that hated him the satisfaction of seeing him lose. And so because he didn't give those fans that, those same fans transitioned their hate from Floyd Mayweather all the way down to Gervonta Tank Davis. And you're seeing it today. And the only reason why I'm talking about this, because I don't see no consistency when it comes to the criticism for certain things, such as fighters not fighting the very best. And we know all these fighters don't fight the very best consistently, if not very often. And Gervonta, he's held to that standard. He's the fighter that needs to be fighting the very best. Even though he's been fighting decent fighters, decent isn't good enough for these fans. Okay? And so my thing is, for the fans that criticize Tank for not fighting the so-called very best, why haven't Triple G received that same criticism? Triple G is a so-called Hall of Famer. Triple G was once upon a time considered the #1 pound-for-pound fighter. And he has nothing on his resume. Triple G throughout his career has only beaten 2 middleweight champions and 1 welterweight champion. But y'all talk about Tank. Y'all criticize Tank. Triple G was a unified this and this and this and that and that. Triple G had all these belts. This is what the fans will say. Triple G had all these belts. But when you tell them the truth about Triple G, such as Triple G only beating 2 middleweight champions, Ryota Murata and David Lemieux, they get mad. When you take a look at all those belts that Triple G had and the amount of champions that he's beaten, the math isn't adding up. It's not. Tank Davis, on the other hand, has beaten over 10 champions, but he gets no credit for it. Sure, you want to see Tank fight the Shakurs and the Teals and the top guys in this division, sure. But we should have that same expectation for all fighters, not being selective with who you guys want to see to fight the very best consistently. Tank knocked out Ryan, but that fight was short-lived. We know Ryan wasn't a world champion, but that fight was in high demands for 3 years. People wanted that fight between Tank and Ryan for 3 years, and we got it. So Tank has beaten some good opponents. He's beaten over 10 world champions. And you guys don't give him credit for it, but you parade Triple G around like he was the best thing since Marvin Hagler. But he only has 3 champions on his resume that he has to show for that he beat. And one of them was a welterweight champion. Triple G beat Kell Brook, Ryota Murata, and David Lemieux. But what's interesting about the champions that Golovkin beat, the welterweight champion that he beat was better and ranked higher than the middleweight champions that he's beaten. Ain't that something? The two middleweight champions that Golovkin has beaten are nowhere to be found anywhere on social media. That's how much no one gave a F about Ryota Murata and David Lemieux. But we're supposed to have all this criticism and all these expectations for Tank, but didn't have any of those same expectations nor criticism for Golovkin, because Golovkin didn't do nothing during his career. He fought Canelo and he's lost to Canelo. His claim to fame is clout chasing off of Canelo and then losing to Canelo. Tank is 30 years old. He has an opportunity to do what Golovkin didn't do, which he already did, which was moving up in multiple weight classes, becoming champion in 2 different weight classes, something Golovkin has never done. Y'all criticize Gervonta Tank Davis for never becoming unified. Well, Golovkin's never been a multiple division world champion. Ever. He's never beaten a pound for pound fighter. He's never beaten a Hall of Fame fighter. And he's never beaten anyone who was ranked in the top 10. Ever.